All right. Hey, what's up, everybody? Today is a different kind of day, and welcome back to Yo Mama's Radio. Today is gonna get a little emotional, and I did play this game, and I just want to let y'all know that just again, just here for the constructive criticism of indie game development and indie game development education. I do my best. I'm not the most advanced, but you know, I do what I can. And lastly, just video game appreciation. And today we're gonna be playing The Life of a Fallen Leaf. And as you can tell, the leaves are falling, and it's a very strong story in this one, but it also holds a lot of trauma. So, in all, just you know, for people who are sensitive, who maybe have PTSD, as you can see right here, there's a military personnel. So, if you're trying to avoid certain things, this might be a sensitive subject, but all right, let's get to it.
Time to get out in this field and pick some pumpkins. Did you?
Hello?
Hello?
Dad?
Hello?
Dad, I'm here.
Did you take the CRV to the mechanic?
When was I supposed to do that? I've got class till 3:30 and don't get off until 5:15.
Afterwards?
Your pals close at 5:30. Could have gotten it fixed last month if you let me take it to the dealership.
The stealership? They would have ripped you off big.
It's right down the street, but instead I've got to drive all the way to your private shop in Maple Grove every time. Paid more in gas than it would have cost to fix it.
Fine. Waste your money. How are you?
Not as good as I was before this phone call. Only 6 minutes before the lunch break is over. So, that's what you called about?
No, just to hear your voice sometimes. About to head out to the field.
How many pumpkins are ready?
Oh, I thought I'd leave them in the ground, son. Let them grow.
You planted the seeds? When? In July?
June.
They're ready.
I know, I
What?
was hoping you and the techs would come out and help me pick them. Get a fun day out of it.
It's an hour and a half from Minneapolis.
On the weekend?
The kids have friends, Dad. They were playing this, I don't know, Tears of the Kingdom or something on the Nintendo Wii.
Switch.
Huh?
The Nintendo Switch. I bought one and it got so riddled with dust that I locked it up in the cupboard. $500 with the games from nothing. Wasn't enough to get you to bring them every weekend. It's just, I don't know how many more of these seasons I have. I want to spend it with y'all, with yours, to see what it was all for and know it was worth it.
Because you're so close to the end at 59.
Candy, the things I did back in the service. You know what I'm talking about. You know I did them for you, right? To make sure you have the life you do right now. The wedding, the down payment on your condo. It was all to secure your position in life, so you could do the same for your kids.
Huh?
Never mind. I'm just lonely. Getting stir crazy out here. Nothing much to do except stew in your own thoughts. Stew like caribou soup with chopped up carrots and green onions and black beans. Do you remember how much you liked that when you were a little girl?
No.
You used to love it every winter. Those times, I think about those times all the time. What I wouldn't give. Anyway, how's your mom?
I've got to go. Look, Dad, if it's too much trouble, I can get the pumpkins from the Walmart. They're above 50 each, and I need one for Alex, Mandy, and Caroline. And maybe another 18 for my class, so $30 or so?
31 and a half. You teach multiplication to the second graders, don't you?
It's third grade material, and I can't calculate when I'm running to class. About the same as the cost of gas for you to come here tomorrow.
No, it's no problem. What else am I gonna do?
Have to go,
So we're about to get another phone call, and but maybe before that happens, I should say like this game is very touching, but it is very traumatic. As I said before, yeah, I should say for video game development purposes, it is also a very beautiful game, three dimensional, and they definitely put effort into this, because as the life of a fallen leaf, it there's kind of some sort of isolation to that, just the thought of it, right? And so you'll hear it, with the phone calls, but I don't think I finished this game, but I might have on accident. I guess we'll see, but yeah, I'll try to keep talking until the phone calls occur. But so I like this process though of like grabbing pumpkins. Pumpkins are actually very healthy for you as well, so they're good for your eyes, vision. They help build strong muscles because of the fiber. Muscles don't just come from protein. They also require, water or oxygen and fiber. And well, military personnel, or armed forces personnel, I should say. Like this is, it's, maybe there's a reason why this is here, health, right? Because they do have to focus on their physical health and stuff. And so, again, just another attribute of like good game design, because you're teaching people things, like even if it's indirectly, right? And it's an element of knowledge that should, at least be acknowledged, right? And well, I never served in the military myself or anything, or the armed forces of any kind. Not saying I never did any security work or became an armed guard or anything like that, but like I guess living in the streets, which I have done, like definitely teaches you a lot of what military personnel go through when they're out, and about, you know, just in their operations, I guess. Just I'm not saying they deal with homeless entirely, or homelessness, but like they do have some of those days, I guess, just from what I've seen anyway. And so it's a rough thing, and learning to live among nature, the wilderness, etc. It's I've seen a lot of that. Rucksacking and things, and it's a challenge. But the element is definitely here. Like just being homeless, and I'll let this call go, right?
You get the Monsanto shipment yet?
Yeah, I got it.
Damn, so aren't they here yet? Must have gotten a flat or something. Why so glum, chum?
I don't know.
Oh, you do know. Spill it, Hollow.
Yeah, I'm off.
Your PTSD syringe attacking random boards of your soul. Take a nap. It's not raining today anyway. Take your meds.
It's not that.
It's always that. You see your quack recently?
I ain't seen no damn doctors recently.
Well, there's your problem. Can't fix an engine without tools.
Huh?
I don't know what to tell you. Farm life ain't for everyone. Gotta find some joys in life. Take me, for example. Going to see my grandkids tomorrow. Carve some of these pumpkins lying around. $2 worth of seeds create memories that makes this life all worth it.
Whatever.
Don't envy. Be inspired. Go out and start a family. You've earned it.
You're just delusional as hell, living a lie.
Listen, Bart. You're my lieutenant and my protege. Deeper yet, you're my pal. And guess what? My neighbor, too. I like you, but you're talking a whole lot of nonsense today. Get with it or don't. Dismissed, Private.
Yeah, so y'all might have noticed a glitch. It might be my processor, because I think I remember when I first played it, it did I do recall hearing him say that sentence or that line that kind of glitched out. So yeah, my apologies, but who knows? It might be a glitch as well, just from the game. Who knows? Ultimately, yeah, you're definitely starting to see like the armed forces aspect of like essentially what it does to you, you know. And so I think it's a heavy game. It really is a heavy game, and I think it's important though because you're telling, you're teaching, you're like educating people on, what the consequences of joining the armed forces because it might appear like valor and all these other things to like get you in, but once you're in, I hear, because I was almost there. I was literally like, I passed my MEPS exam and I was on my way, but luckily, my recruiters were like, because of just your history and all that, it's better we just don't take the risk and whatever. But yeah, like I could have snuck in, I could have gone through if I just, let's say, withheld like medical information, just what happened to me, et cetera, and just whatever. But I didn't because I ended up learning a lot about the military while I was trying to join the military. I was like, you know what? I should just not join the military because that option was like right around the corner.
Hey, Candy Bun. Out catching your pumpkins. Just wanted to.
Dad, I'm in class. Emergencies only.
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
Off in an hour.
An hour? She's only been on her afternoon shift for a few minutes.
Yeah, but game dev though. So speaking on game dev, this you have shadows going, which is nice because shadows are important. The darkness, it's not just all light all the time. The light burns if you don't ever take a break from it, and that's why you need the darkness. But in the darkness, we can also find answers. It's like it gives us the ability to reflect from the light, and so it's within our thoughts and things like that. And so it's the good and the bad too, if you want to translate it that way. And people tend to associate good with light and bad with darkness, but I think it's vice versa or both ways actually, because they can both be good and they could both be bad. Because if you're always looking for only the positives, you're never gonna.
So, what did you want?
The pumpkins are a little soft this season. May not hold to carving.
That's fine. If they do, they do. If they don't, you get replaced by the Walton family next year.
Anyway, how's everything with you?
How many times are you going to ask me that?
I just want to know. You used to come through the front door every day not too long ago. Go right up to your room, drop your backpack in the closet, not touching it until morning. You hated homework, but now you're saying it.
That was 21 years ago, Dad, before you got deployed. A lot's happened since.
Yeah, but it feels like last week. Feels like you went on a school trip to Kiarni and never came back.
Actually, it feels like you went to Abu Ghraib and never came back.
Candace, you know all about that stuff over there, right? By now?
I knew it then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And how does that sit with you?
you came back a different person anyway. Like, there were 3 of you inside with drastically different moods, trying to compete over one body, trying to say 3 different things at once. Then you started seeing the psychiatrist, and you took medication and calmed down, and you were like calm and happy and overly enthusiastic. But then you moved down to the farm and got away from us. Why?
You know about the things I did over there?
I know a little. Before I didn't want to know anymore. I think I have to go now.
All more useless in this world than something that was nice and green once and then falls slowly and loses its color.
That's your offhanded way of saying I'm being a bitch?
No, I'm just saying that there are a lot of leaves on the ground, and I could either go pick up the rest of your stupid pumpkins or rake them up, because they could be covering pits, and once you fall into a hole and there's no one around, you die a slow, painful death like these ugly red and orange leaves themselves, and no one hears your screams because nobody cares.
Okay. Don't bother coming tomorrow. Bye.
Yeah, you said bye to me a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, it's about perception at that point. But this is good because, again, it's just, it's an element being utilized in, an element of life. It's what we go through, and whether you could look at the leaves in terms of, again, something negative or something positive, but really it comes down to who you are and your condition and stuff. And so it's getting to that, and as you see the lights going away, and there's just a lot to take in, but that means there's time, and that's code implementation right there for those of you who, there's, maybe it's set to a timer. It's, if it's at, let's say it started at 5 o'clock, if in 3 hours within the game, which probably move a lot faster, so at 8 p.m. in the game, it's, and then render a sunset, etc., right? And then, that's how it works, and that's good, The music in the background. It's how do you communicate something, an emotion. I think that's natural.
I told you it wouldn't rain today. You're always putting chips on zeros at the roulette table. Hello?
Today's the day.
If you're anticipating for some nighttime rain, then you best be out in the field sowing your little ass off. I'm half an hour down the road, but if you think I'm driving your combine again when I got all this business on my own,
It's happening. I told you it would.
what is?
My house is missing.
What?
I came back from mowing around the barn, and the house is not there. There's just a brown square with rounded corners where it used to be.
Huh. Well, what happened?
It's all catching up to us, man. You were the lieutenant colonel. You were supposed to protect me. You put all those demons in my soul. Can't live with myself anymore. I'm gonna do it.
Holler, holler, holler. Private Bartholomew Simpson. Bart Simpson. Remember how much you hated?
I'm gonna kill myself.
Then go ahead. Do it. I've been hearing that stupidity for years now. Stop for a second and listen to me. Did you take the Thorazine today?
No.
What about the benztropine? Prednisone, Tylenol 3, the somas?
No.
And you're off cycle on the steroids too?
The drugs only cloud the world. They cover what we actually are.
That's exactly what they do. That's the point of me hooking you up with my stock doc and negotiating a discount for you. Listen, the idea here is to distract and numb you until the end of your days. After you die, it won't matter anymore. We become dust and maggot food, just like they did. There's a beautiful equality to it all.
What we did at Abu Ghraib,
I don't want to hear it.
to those Iraqi prisoners, the cutting, the rape, the humiliation.
If you don't shut your goddamn mouth, I'm coming down there to bury your ungrateful ass in the same hole you think your house got swallowed into. I can't be bothered with this. I have important things to do today. Take a walk around, get your head together, go in your house, and take the medication that's been prescribed to you. They'll make you feel good and healthy, and you'll get back on your feet. May miss the last of the seeds, but harvesting season is over anyhow.
Okay.
Good. And by the way, now that you brought it up, remember this. Those dogs got exactly what they deserve. We toughened brown goo from the kick of our shoes.
yeah, so I definitely cannot see right now. As you can tell, there are maybe not discrepancies, but I think this is actually the point of the game in many ways. Many ways, anyway. And that almost looked like the house. This might actually be. Oh, there it is. The pumpkins are right there. And so, yeah. But wow, yeah, it definitely kicks in, and as you can tell, this is about like PTSD and you know, um, you know, yeah. I want to talk about game dev, but at the same time, I want to talk about like the psychology and all that stuff. But maybe I should just say psychology in game dev or of or about game development, and there's so much that goes into it. It's implementing things of that nature in games are extremely important because if you're bringing light to just psychological like effects and things of that sort, again, you might be saving lives.
Vengeful ghost of those we tortured has found our hidden place in the world. They bring the pain that we cultivated, and their blood has fertilized the fields of anger, and it's grown. They'll cut right through us and continue in this world, causing more horrors. That was our contribution to this world. We doused gasoline on the fires of hell, and laughed while we did it. We doused gasoline on those poor Iraqis, and did nothing to our moral fiber because we didn't have any. We're demons infesting bodies, no empathy, no compassion, no reason to exist, evil incarnate. Our only gesture is to give ourselves willingly to Shah Mahan of Abu Ghraib. It may then spare our families.
Ooh, I barely saw this one. Yeah, I don't know what that is. But it's creepy-ish, though. Yeah. Why would you pick pumpkins in the middle of the night, right? You gotta be crazy. And maybe that's why, it's like, man, you're not crazy, but, with no light, come on, dude. There's something going on, so I'm just gonna stay over here, try to figure out what the hell. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Holy shit. Yep. Scene, yeah. Shabahan something. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Also, yeah, that's the end of the game. Wow. So yeah, I feel like I read a name at the end that might have been like Middle Eastern, and I didn't really see who produced the game or developed it, but this is nice. Even if you are Middle Eastern and you had, let's say European people involved, like, and specifically American people who are, that originated from Europe, and so, I won't say, the name, but um, that maybe what you're trying to say there's is like, yeah, it's the acknowledgement. It's kind of like basically you killed my people, you killed my people, etc. But we have white people in this game, and the whole world is seeing it right now. Like what's going on, and I don't know if this is like a statement. I don't know. I wouldn't say politics. I don't think this is politics. I think this is like personal, and even though politics could be interpreted around it, I think this is politics is too detached. It's too distant from this very life affecting thing that affects people or persons, and therefore it affects them personally. That you would go and bomb someone's children or kill an entire village just because they're brown, essentially, Middle Eastern, because that's what they're talking about. And so I think this type of game is one of the most important because it's in many ways it's like activist, an activist type genre in video games, right? And we don't see that in commercial AAA games because a lot of the time the military is involved in the creation of those games and stuff, and so like to try to lead little boys into becoming military personnel who eventually will be the next generation killing off people of color or whatever, right? And sadly, like white people or Europeans, they're the ones who take the toll. They're the ones who pay, the fee for admission to these genocides. Like, the effects are not just on like the leaders of the United States, for example, as a European colony, but they affect generations and generations of white people, and they people tend to just turn away from white people because of that reputation. And so I believe this game is a very strong game, and I believe it is very honest, and with that, I believe it's an extremely important game, and that I think it should be shared. I think people should understand this a lot more, and sadly, there is a lot of ignorance and even willful ignorance because of white supremacy. Even the white religion, like, it's about just avoiding everything outside of whiteness. And this makes white people, like, essentially some of the most ignorant people on the planet. And this is willfully ignorant. And they just carry these biases that hurt not only themselves, their image, their reputation, their entire culture, and everything, but they ruin lives, like, that are not associated to them out of that ignorance. And so, any last words in terms of video game development? Wow, I don't know what to say. I genuinely don't. I think that as a video game developer, we do have responsibilities, to others, including ourselves, but especially to others. And like, your code can either break you or make you type of stuff. And with this, it's essentially the same thing, when you join the military or any of that. It's the psychology, the psyche. And so, as for the images and the 2 and 3 dimensional stuff. I think a lot of this is very self-explanatory. Um, but you know, I guess if I were to say some things to someone who is aspiring to create video games about like or kind of related to just this video, like I'd say personally, make a game that says something like this, you know, that tells the world something and educates the world about something that genuinely bothers you, that makes you sad every day, and possibly affects you in a negative way. And it's like, and I think telling your story or telling someone else's story, I think those are the best games. Like, I've been so disconnected from people because of, you know, corporate media, and I think getting back to meeting independent people is like in some way helping me like I feel like cope, you know, like to just cope with reality, because it's not just made to like comfort me. It's taking me out of my comfort place, and it's telling me that people have sick and twisted, you know, realities, and they're not as bright and beautiful as, you know, they make them appear, because society expects everyone to be like this perfect thing, like completely ruling out that on the other side of that light, on the other side of that tree is a shadow. And so it's, yeah. And so I'll leave it at that. I completely respect your game, and I hope this does like bring you, I don't know if you were a military personnel, but I hope it brings you some peace or some, you know, just closure, you know? Closure, I think, is the best one. And so, that being said, thank you everyone for staying tuned into your grandmother's radio. And I'll see you on the next one.